I've not done one of these videos for a very long time, but I'm doing one today. I'm a writer. I'm also a Christian, and I'm going to put those two things together. And I'm going to look at one of the parables. I'm going to look at the parable of the Good Samaritan. And I'm going to look at that parable, and I'm going to show you how that parable can be turned into different stories. Can be taken from the parable, and that same parable can be turned into stories that relate to us today, without taking the essence of that story that Jesus told, but can make it relate to us today. So that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, I'm going to actually describe what Dan Wells' technique is. I said that it's split into 7 parts. Those 7 parts are hook, plot twist 1, pinch 1, midpoint, pinch 2, plot twist 2, and resolution. The hook is exactly that. It's like a hook that you'd catch a fish with. The hook is what hooks a reader or someone listening to a story into the story. So it is, they say that with a story that if you're not hooked by the first few pages of a book, if the author hasn't managed to get the reader interested in those first few pages, quite often they'll just put the book down. I'm definitely like that. If I'm not interested really quickly, I just lose interest, and I stop reading so many books because I lose interest, and I just haven't got the energy to just read books that I don't show that I'm not interested in, that just go on and make me lose the will to live almost. So, that is what a hook is. It hooks you into the story. It interests you, makes you want to read on. And that's what the hook is. It makes you want to read on, makes you want to know more. So that, with Dan Wells, he says that a story needs to begin with a hook. Now we move on to plot twist 1. And that is, you've got the hook, and then you have a plot twist. And this adds to the hook. You've got the hook, the reader's interested, add a plot twist to further that interest. Something happens, something turns the story to make it even more interesting, to make it even more, I want to know more. Something happens to make the action even more interesting, something happens to add to the action, to make the story, just add to the action and make the story run even more, to make the narrative twist and turn, and the plot twist changes often the narrative. So pinch 1 is similar to plot twist, but it's slightly different. It's like a little twist, almost like I said, a pinch. It's almost like someone's pinching you. It's like you've had the plot twist. Well, here's a little pinch. I'm going to add a little bit more of a, you've coped with the hook, you've been pulled in, and I've thrown a plot twist at you, and here's another pinch as well, a punch. I'm going to add some more of it to you. So Dan Wells then puts at the centre of the midpoint. This is the central, This is where everything sort of balances in the middle. This is a turning point where things start to just turn around. And then pinch 2, a little pinch that starts to turn things towards the end of the story. And then plot twist 2, the plot turning towards the end. We're nearly at the end, and then obviously the resolution. We get to the end, the story ends, everything turns out happily ever after, or not, as the case may be. But yeah, we have resolution, whether it's a good resolution or a bad resolution, whether the resolution, my computer went off then, whether the resolution is a nice resolution or a nasty, whether we're left thinking, whether we've got, whatever the resolution is, we have some sort of resolution. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Good Samaritan. So if we think about the Good Samaritan, now I've taken the actual Bible readings of the Good Samaritan, and I've taken them from Luke 10 verses 30 to 35. Now the Good Samaritan is also in Matthew. So if we take the beginning of the Good Samaritan that Jesus told, the hook of the Good Samaritan is a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. And that's verse 30. Now that is a hook. We are hooked into the action. We are hooked into what has happened. This man has been attacked. He has been robbed. He has been left for dead. We want to know what's going to happen to him. We want to know, is he going to be left? Is he going to die, or is someone going to come and rescue him? We want to know what's going to happen. We are with him in that moment. We want to know what's going to happen to him. So we are with him. We are with him in that story. We are in with the hook. So we have been hooked into that story. Plot twist 1. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. Verse 31. What a plot twist. Who would expect a priest, a man of high standing in society, in Jewish society, to ignore a Jewish man, and pass by the other side? To ignore him. A priest should not do that. A priest should be charging over to help this man, should be getting other people to come and help, should be helping him, should be tending to his wounds, and etc, etc. But no, he passes by. He doesn't help him. This is not what a priest should do. This is a massive plot twist, because it's not what a priest should not be doing that. So that is a massive plot twist, because this is not how the story should go. The priest should be helping the man, but he doesn't. Pinch 1. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. Verse 32. Not only does the priest pass him by, but so does the Levite. The Levite, another upstanding member of society. The Levites were the ones that served the priest. He too should not have passed him by. He too should have helped him, but he didn't. And that's another pinch, another kick for this poor man. He's been left for dead. He's been robbed. He's been stripped. He is in so much need for help. And the priest and the Levite have just ignored him. Like, someone else's problem, whatever. not going to help him. And these are people that are supposed to be serving God. These are supposed to be men of God. And they're just ignoring this poor man. Midpoint. But a Samaritan, as he travelled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. Verse 33. A Samaritan. A Samaritan. They were looked down on. He wasn't a Jew. He wasn't a Jew. He was a Samaritan. They looked down on the Samaritans. The Samaritans worshipped God, but they weren't Jews. They weren't Jews. They worshipped God, but they weren't Jews. They were looked down on by the Jews. This man was an outsider, but he took pity. He took pity on the Jew, on the poor man who'd been attacked. He took pity on him when the two men that should have took pity on him, the priest and the Levite, they didn't. But the man who was not even a member of the man's race, he took pity on him. Pinch 1. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine. Verse 34, part 1. So the pinch here is the little extra kick. Not only did he take pity on him, but he bandaged his wounds. He used oil and wine to clean him up and bandage his wounds and help him. Plot twist 2. Then he put the man on his own donkey and brought him to an inn and took care of him. So that plot twist, moving towards the end of the story, that extra twist, not only has he taken notice of him, not only has he bandaged his wounds, but he's putting him on his own donkey and he's taken him to an inn and taking care of him. So that is an extra plot twist. Verse 34, part 2. And then the last part, resolution. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you with any extra expense you may have. Verse 35. So that is the end of the story of the Good Samaritan. Obviously, Jesus asked which of those was the actual his neighbour, but that's the end of the story of of the Good Samaritan, because because he looked after him and he made sure he was looked after and was cared for and everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down and turn the Good Samaritan into everyday language. So if we look at the hook, obviously the Jewish man was attacked and left for dead by robbers. So if we say everyday language, a main character is vulnerable. That's basically what it is. He was made vulnerable. Plot twist 1. The priest passed him by. Character who should know better ignores main character. Pinch 1. The Levite also passed him by. Character who should know better also ignores main character. So those two are basically the same. Midpoint. Samaritan comes upon him and takes pity on him. Unexpected character who others look down on stops when he sees the main character. Pinch 2. He bandages his wounds. Unexpected character helps main character. Plot twist 2. He puts him on his donkey and takes him to an inn and takes care of him. Unexpected character takes main character to where they can get help. And then resolution, he pays the innkeeper to look after him. Unexpected character uses own resources to make sure main character is cared for. Okay, so that's in everyday language. So now I'm going to turn it into a story. So, hook. The man was attacked by robbers and left for dead. Main character is vulnerable. So, this is a new story. 12-year-old Sam is trapped when his school collapses. He is pinned under a beam so he can't escape on his own. He has been... So, we start with the hook, the Good Samaritan. Man is attacked by robbers. He's left for dead. And the everyday language is, the main character is vulnerable. So, a new story would be, and this is what I've wrote, 12-year-old Sam is trapped when his skull collapses. He is pinned under a beam so he can't escape on his own. He has been waiting to be rescued for some time. He is losing feeling in his feet, is bleeding and is very pale. Okay, so let's go to plot twist 1. A priest passes him by. So this everyday language is character who should know better ignores main character. Firefighter ignores Sam, doesn't check his vitals. Instead, he rescues someone who is only slightly injured because they know the child's mum. Pinch 1. Levi also passes him by. Hear my cat running around. Character should know better also ignores main character. Paramedic even checks Sam's vitals, says he's going to get someone to get him free so he can go to hospital, but never returns. And I need to move down. So, and then midpoint, Samaritan comes and takes pity on him. So, unexpected character who others look down on stops to help main character. Homeless man, not wearing any protection like the firefighter and paramedic, finds Sam and promises he's not going to leave him, that he will get him free. Pinch 2. Bandages his wounds. The Good Samaritan bandages the Jewish man's. Unexpected character helps main character. Homeless man moves beam. So, plot twist 2. He puts man on his own donkey, brought him to it in and took care of him. So, the everyday language is unexpected character takes main character to where they can get help. So the new story is homeless man carries Sam out of collapsed school to an ambulance. So resolution. So obviously in the Good Samaritan, the Good Samaritan took 2 denarii to the innkeeper and told him to look after the Jewish man. And then everyday language, unexpected character uses own resources to make sure main character is cared for. So this is, and let me just move it down slightly. try to move it down slightly. Homeless man and other homeless like him talk on the TV about Sam and how he was trapped, meaning that people listening raise money for Sam's care and recovery. So if I read the whole thing now, you will get an idea of how the new story is actually the Good Samaritan, but it's a new story as well. 12-year-old Sam is trapped when his school collapses. He is pinned under a beam so he can't escape on his own. He has been waiting to be rescued for some time. He's losing feeling in his feet, is bleeding and is very pale. Firefighter ignores Sam, doesn't check his vitals, instead rescues someone who is only slightly injured because they know the child's mum. Paramedic checks Sam's vitals, says he's going to get someone to get him free so he can go to hospital, but never returns. Homeless man not wearing protection like the firefighter and paramedic finds Sam and promises he's not going to leave him, that he will get him free. Homeless man moves beam. Homeless man carries Sam out of collapsed school to an ambulance. Homeless man and other homeless like him talk on the TV about Sam and how he was trapped, meaning that people listening raise money for Sam's care and recovery. So that is the parable of the Good Samaritan, but it's also not. I've actually done another of them that's also the parable of the Good Samaritan, but also not. So we'll start with that. Earth is attacked by aliens. The people of Mars watch from a distance. They don't try to help us. The people of Mercury also watch from a distance. They don't try to help us. The people of Pluto, a place we've not even deemed a planet, take notice of our plight. They come to our planet and fight the aliens. They help us rebuild. They give us technology so we will never fall prey to anyone invading our world again. So that also is the Good Samaritan story, but it's a very, very different story to the one that Jesus told. So whether you've watched this for creative writing content or Christian content, I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you've got something out of it. Okay.